A psychotherapist and gender specialist in the United Kingdom is challenging a university which is blocking research he wants to conduct into people who regret undergoing gender change. James Caspian claims that the move by Bath Spa University is an attack on free speech.
It's been extremely stressful to find myself embroiled in these proceedings, which I think should be of great concern to anyone who values free speech and knowledge. I deeply believe that the research I proposed is important to the well-being of the transgendered community.
It's a completely new topic, and I'm sure that we have plenty of persons who passed whole transition and then who showed any type of regret. We have to research this more and more with only one aim, that is to prevent mistake in following these persons before surgery.
The research proposed by Mr. Caspian was initially approved by academics back in 2015, but then was later dropped. In December of 2016, High Court judges in the university's favour ruled in the university's favour without waiting for an internal review of the study. According to Mr. Caspian, the university dropped the research because it feared there would be a backlash on social media. We've reached out to Bath Spa University for comment.
Mr. Caspian's research proposal was not refused on the grounds of topic, but on the methodological approach. The university was not convinced the approach would guarantee the anonymity of his participants and the confidentiality of data.
Well, the researcher lost the first round of his legal battle, leaving him to cover the university's court costs. He set up a crowdfunding page to cover the expenses and mount a fresh legal challenge against the university. It's so far raised almost £14,000. Let's get some wider perspective on the story now. I can speak to Walt Heyer, who reversed his decision to become a woman. Appreciate you coming on, Walt. I'm sure you've got a fascinating perspective on all of this. Now, you refer to yourself as someone who's detransitioned back to male. Were you surprised that a university blocked research aimed at studying such a concept?
No, I'm not surprised at all, because if they start studying this like James Caspian wanted to do at the university, what they would find out is there's a vast number of people who are detransitioning because they regret having changed their gender. So I think they're fearful of the truth coming out, and this is their way of preventing research from being done.
What do you make of the explanation the university put forward? They say they're concerned that it could provoke nasty comments online.
Well, everybody's afraid of nasty comments, aren't they? But shouldn't we be really open to getting the truth? And James is about to explore that, and they really don't want the truth. I think that's probably more the issue, is that they're trying to prevent the truth from coming out, and that's the backlash. They're afraid of the LGBT, which is so powerful. It would probably overwhelm the university. But James is on the right track. Even the surgeon who does the surgery, who was on also, saying that he's seeing a rise in people requesting detransition surgery.
The author of the research you mentioned there says that the reason that it was blocked was political. The university's rejected those claims. What's your take?
I think it's political, absolutely. I think it's totally political, and I think there's a tremendous amount of pressure, as I said, from the LGBT. I have found out in my many years of working with transgendered people that there is a groundswell of people detransitioning. I'm working with them all the time now. More and more letters from around the world from people who, after 5, 7, 12, maybe 15, even 20 years, they want to detransition back, calling the surgery and their gender change just pure folly and foolishness and totally unnecessary. So they want help to detransition, just as I've done.
Speaking of your personal story, you were born a male, you later changed gender, you lived for 8 years as a woman, as I understand, then you changed back. How difficult was it for you when you felt at that point you made a mistake or you wanted to change back, and how happy do you feel about since having changed back to your birth gender?
Well, I feel quite good. I've been back now to my birth gender for 25 years. I've been married for 20 years. You know, when I discovered that this whole transgender thing is built solely on feelings, there's absolutely no objective proof that anyone is a transgender except by them self-identifying as a transgender. There's no medical proof that anyone is a transgender, and there's no proof that anyone benefits from the surgery over the long term. Now, some people like myself feel like we had a good time while it lasted. But when the truth rears its ugly head and that you really can't change your gender biologically, that you're living this whole thing is just total foolishness, and you want your life back, you want to live in reality and not in some, surgically made transgender life. You detransition back and you take on a life of reality, and you're much happier having done that.
Walt, very kind of you to come on and share your experiences with us. Appreciate your time and your opinions. My guest, Walt Heyer, who transitioned himself back to male. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.